Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. We're going to study today, inshallah, the imperative or the Amr, and we're also going to talk about today the Nahi, which is the opposite of the Amr, inshallah. We'll discuss both of these, inshallah, in detail today. We've already in class went over some of the aspects of Amr, but we never did the prohibition, the Nahi. So today I'm just going to review with you the Amr, inshallah ta'ala, and how that's made. So you can review that and have that fresh. On Tuesday, inshallah, we're going to practice making and translating the imperative, the Amr, inshallah, but we're also going to practice the Nahi. So I want everyone to become familiar with both of these, inshallah, for tomorrow's class. So we spoke, number one, looking at point number one here, that first and foremost, if you want to make a imperative command, if you want to say do something, then you're going to have to first take the alamat mudari', okay, and then you're going to look at number two here. You're going to look at the letter following the sign of mudari'. For example, if you have yadribu, you're going to look at the word following yadribu. So that's where we look at number three, actually. If the following letter is a sakin, a hamza wasal is inserted at the beginning and the end is rendered sakin. This is the most important part for you to remember, okay? What this means is that when you take any word, you're going to put it first on the mudari' form, like this word here, tansuru. Okay, which the first thing you're going to do, if the second letter, meaning the ayn kalima, is a sakin, then what you do is you're going to place a hamza wasal, a hamza right in the beginning, and get rid of the sign of mudari'. Okay, does everyone understand that? Inshallah, hopefully you understand what that means. Basically, when we look at our mudari' words, when we look at our words in mudari', you'll see, I'm just trying to find an example for you. If you look at our words in mudari', yes, here we go. If you look at the words in mudari', you'll see there's four letters there. There's the ya, the fa, the ayn, the lam. Well, the fa is called fa kalima. That's one of the original letters. The ayn is the ayn kalima, original letter. The lam is the lam kalima, original letter there. The ya, which is at the front of the word, we call that alamatul mudari', the sign of mudari'. You should know that by now. We've been studying this for many weeks. Likewise, if you look here on taf'alu, well, what's the alamatul mudari' on this one? Correct. It's the ta. Exactly. If you keep going down, and you look at, for example, yes, af'alu, what is the alamatu mudari' here? Well, the alamatu mudari' is the hamza, yes, at the beginning. So that's what we're referring to when we say alamatu mudari'. So going back to Amr, what are we going to do? We are going to, number one, get rid of the alamatu mudari', okay? Get rid of the alamatu mudari'. And then we're going to put a hamza before. Okay, a hamza before. Now, here's the key. Number 4 and 5. Look at these rules very closely. If the ayn kalima has a dhamma on it, then you're going to put a dhamma on the hamza. And if it has a fatha or kasra, you're going to put a kasra on the hamza. Look at number 4 and 5. Read those to yourself, inshallah. Okay, so now you can see they gave us two examples. One example is tansuru, the other example is taftahu. We all can see that the ayn kalima in tansuru has what? A dhamma, a fatha, or a kasra. Exactly, it has a dhamma. So thus, you will put a dhamma on the hamza, and you will read the word unsur, unsur. Now, one more thing, you'll notice that there's a sakin at the end of this word. That's very important, okay? All of the Amrs will have this sakin at the end. And that's why rule number 2 tells us clear. If the following, no, the right, I'm sorry, I just saw the rule. The final letter is rendered sakin. The final letter is rendered sakin. We're going to come back to that. We're going to come back to that, inshallah. So here, look at this now. Number 5. Iftah idrib. Iftah idrib. Fataha yaftahu. Because of the hamza on the ta, it becomes iftah. And yadribu becomes idrib also. Now, all of the noon al-i'rab, all of the noon, this is a new terminology for you, noon al-i'rab, okay? Noon al-i'rab is referring to yaf'alani, yaf'aluna, taf'alani, taf'alina, those words. All of those will lose their noon and it will become if'ala. But the noon and niswa, the noon for femininity, the noon for feminine plural, it will remain there. Okay? So read over rule number 6. So we'll skip rule number 7 right now, and then we'll go to rule number 8. This is important. Okay, rule number 8 is very important. Okay, take a look at rule number 8. The imperative of the first and third person. What this means is, if you take a look at your chart, all of the third person and the first person mudari' words, well, you can't really command somebody to do something who's not in front of you. And you can't really command yourself. So the form for these words is going to be slightly different. It won't be like what we just discussed. You'll actually do something different. What you're going to do is you're going to put a lam with a kasra in the front of the word, and you're going to put a sakin at the end of the word. Okay? You'll see what we're saying. That will be for all of the what? The third person, ghaib, and all of the mutakallim, first person. Okay? So let's take a look at this. Here's what it looks like, okay? Here's what it looks like. Liyuf'al. Liyuf'al. What does that mean? Liyuf'al means, now it is, oh no, let's look at here, I'm sorry. Liyaf'al. Liyaf'al means that one man should do. Okay? Liyaf'al means that one man should do. Now this is Amr, but again, remember what I said. It is you cannot say third person do something, because do something means to the one listening to you. Do this, do that. Okay? So liyaf'al, liyaf'ala, liyaf'alu. Look closely. What happened? We put a lami kasra at the beginning. We put a sakin at the end, and the noons were dropped off. Okay? Liyaf'alani became liyaf'ala. Liyaf'aluna became liyaf'alu. Okay? Same here. Litaf'ala, litaf'al, litaf'ala, liyaf'alna. Oh, the noon stayed, but I explained to you why. Because noon niswa always stays. Now, look at the bottom half. Look at the bottom half. Oh, here's the rule we learned at the beginning. Because it was yaf'alu, it will be if'al, if'ala, if'alu. Now, how do you translate these words? For hadir, it would be you, one man, do. If'ala, you, two men, do. If'alu, you, group of men, do. If'ali, you, one woman, do. If'ala, you, two women, do. If'alna, all you women, do. Li af'al, I should do. Li af'al, li naf'al, we should do. Okay? Hopefully everyone understands that, inshallah. If there's any questions. Now that could be done also with mudari' majhul, inshallah. That can also be done with mudari' majhul, okay? But because obviously it's majhul, they'll all have the li at the beginning of them. Look at the mudari' majhul line, liyuf'al, liyuf'ala, liyuf'alu. Same thing except it's yuf now instead of yaf. Then when you get to the amr, the second person, lituf'al. Again, this is not really a command, so the lam has to come there because it's majhul. We don't have the person that the file of the verb is not there. So because that, you're gonna say lituf'al, lituf'al, okay, liuf'al, linuf'al. Okay, we'll get back to this chart later. We have something else to learn to get to that chart. But before that, now what you have to do here, and we did this already, but just as a review, take these words. So you have غسل يغسل. How will you make this word into mudari? You will say يغسل will become, what will it be? Exactly, اغسل. Sakin on the lam, hamza, kasra, اغسل. يدخل will become, exactly, udkhul. Good job. Next thing, here is the new lesson for today. The prohibition, the nahi. The nahi is the opposite of the mudar, of the amr that you just learned. How do you do it? Very simple, not hard at all. The particle la, lam alif, is used before fi'l mudari. It has the same effect as lam. Now we haven't learned lam yet, and we'll do that this week and changing the different form. So what lam does is it actually just gives a sakin to the end of the word. So when you put lam at the front of a word, lam, it changes the meaning big time, and we'll talk about that in our next video most likely. But also what it does is it changes the end of the word to sakin, and that's all they're telling you. So the nahi here, if you look at it, let's read this chart. La yaf'al, that one man should not do. And remember, because it's third person, it kind of gives the meaning of should not do, although it's still a command, a prohibition, don't do. Okay, but look here. La taf'al, don't do. La taf'ala, don't do. You two men. La taf'alu, all of you men, don't do. La taf'ali, you don't do. One sister, one person, one woman. La af'alu, I shouldn't do. La naf'alu, I shouldn't do. Okay, so what you're looking at here is the nahi. And remember, the nahi is the opposite of amr. Amr means command, nahi means prohibition, telling you not to do something. Okay, and that's what we're learning here. La taf'alu, do not do. So the two things we're learning today are what? Amr and Nahi. We're going to review these on Tuesday, inshallah. And our next video, we're going to be learning about, inshallah, our next video will be about huruf of nasiba, I believe, inshallah. We'll go over those, inshallah, very soon. If you have any questions, inshallah, we'll be practicing this on Tuesday. Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.